turn signals and shit are.
Hello.
Hey YouTube, it's MOTOMATTman.
And this is mrs.motomattman.
And today we're out for hopefully what'll turn out to be the first dual vlog of the season. And incidentally, this is the first time the two of us have ever ridden the Sportsters at the same time. It's pretty daggone windy today, so I decided the VFR is going to stay at home. Because like I've said before, the fairings act like giant sails. And we get a lot of crosswinds from all the open spaces, the farms, and so forth.
And I just realized my jacket wasn't all the way zipped up. It is now.
Okay. Oh, and that's not the greatest thing. I mean, it's warmer today than it has been. But it's, like 45 with like 15 to 20 mile an hour winds and then wind gusts. So it probably still feels like it's in the 30s.
Well, one of the nice parts about my bike is being that it's lower to the ground, the wind doesn't tend to move me around too much. So even though I only have one bike to choose from, I like my bike, especially on windy days, because I don't get moved around quite as much. Of course, there's going to probably be times, because we live out here in the country where we've got a lot of farmland, that you've got the wide open spaces where the wind's going to come across and it's going to get me. But I'm at least lower to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Well, and even the Yamaha, it sits up pretty good, so the wind can still affect it, even though it doesn't have the bearings and whatnot.
I did break out my chaps for today, because as Mr. MotoMattman and I both know, I am not a cold weather rider, so I've got my chaps on today to try to keep me nice and warm.
Oh yeah, and you could kind of do a review of them, because since you normally don't ride when it's even chilly outside, they haven't really gotten any use, have they?
Well, I will tell you there's one difference between the chaps and the long underwear, the Under Armour that I also have. The chaps don't cover my butt. So, I will tell you that there are a few places that do notice the wind.
Well, yeah, that kind of is kind of a downfall to that. Didn't think about that.
Well, MotoMattman likes to ride in the cold weather too, in addition to riding in nice weather, and he has nice gloves for this type of weather. He wanted to make sure he was prepared. I, on the other hand, do not like to ride in the cold, so I therefore do not have appropriate gloves for this type of temperature. So, what is Mrs. Motomat wearing? She's wearing her barn gloves. So, I will tell you that my hands are going nice and toasty warm, but not the same as I had on warm motorcycle gloves.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I at least don't feel the wind coming through them. And they're at least stylishly black, so they match my jacket that way.
well, and your jacket and your chaps match, too.
Yep, my chaps are black with pink trim, which matches my jacket that is black with a pink trim. So if anybody has any feedback for me on warmer gloves for women, I would definitely appreciate the feedback, or any gloves that you have that you use when it's cold out that you like. Now, I am a whole 5'4", so I have hands that fit my height, so I have short kid-like hands. So that's an important thing in finding gloves that fit me good, is that they're for shorter hands.
Well, that is one of the things that seems to be a problem. I mean, I have all kinds of choices, and most men do. But it doesn't seem like there's as much in the way of choices for riding gear for women. I mean, you walk into the Harley dealer and there's a ton of Harley motor clothes for women, but not necessarily actual riding gear. I mean, now your chaps are Harley chaps, aren't they?
Yes, my chaps are Harley chaps.
But, you know, as far as like actual gear, there's not a whole lot.
Huh. Hey, the flag is out on the golf course today, but I don't see any Amish golfers.
Now, the reason Mrs. Motomattman mentions that is because I went out for a ride one day last year and took kind of this same path, and the golf course, it just blew me away, because the golf course was like full of Amish guys golfing. And I guess I just never thought of the Amish golfing.
Okay, I'm going.
Okay.
I will tell you, it's a little bit windier right through this stretch.
Well, and one thing that I have noticed riding with Mrs. Motomattman is when she says she's going, she means she's going. As soon as she makes the turn, she's gone. And me not riding the Sporty as much as I used to, I'm so used to just barely flipping the throttle on my Honda and being right up by her, that I just make the turn and just casually start accelerating, and I look up and she's gone. And even though we're on the Sportsters and we're sitting kind of low, me with my size, the wind is still, right now we're going into a headwind, and my body becomes a sail. Unfortunately, I guess you'll have that this time of year, where the weather's bouncing back and forth between not knowing if it wants to be spring or it wants to stay being winter.
Oh, my blinker turned off.
It's still on.
No, I turned it back on.
Oh.
Sometimes we've noticed that if I have my blinker on for a while, it will shut off.
So in my little idiot lights, I'm going to have to mess with them, because they're not telling me if I got my blinker on or not, or if I'm in neutral. I think the only one that works is the oil light. Well, let me see. Turn on the high beam. The high beam light works. Little idiot light works too.
Well, for those of you out there in YouTube world that may not already know, I am a newer rider. I have not been riding forever, So one of the things that gives me the added security with riding is the Senna system, so that MOTOMattman and I are able to have conversations. Last year at the end of the season, sorry, talking and riding sometimes is hard for me. Last year at the end of the season when MOTOMattman and I were out and about, he was going over, how to point things out to people and take your foot off and what to do with your head. And I'm really glad that we have Senna so that we can just talk about things.
Well, yeah, it also makes it more enjoyable being able to have a conversation at the same time.
Right, especially if we see something. You're so used to being in a box together and being able to talk. So it's nice to be able to be on the bike and still have conversations.
Well, you can point out things too. Like if you see something that's interesting, you can point it out as you're seeing it.
Right.
Or hazards, for that matter. Point out stuff.
Right.
At least everything's not covered in white today.
Going. When I come up to stop and then I get ready to go, I always tell MOTOMattman that I'm going, because when we first started riding together, we'd pull up and I would sit there and then I would just take off. So I generally try to give him a little heads up when I'm going.
Somebody's running.
What?
There were dogs running along the thing, like they were running after the bike, but not leaving the yard. Oh, there's snow still left. A little bit of...
Still little bits of snow here and there.
Yeah. We got 6 inches of snow over the weekend. Today's Wednesday, and we got between Saturday and Sunday, got 6 inches of snow. This is what's left. It's one of those things. It was earlier last week. It was in the upper 50s. And then all of a sudden, we got hit with 6 inches of snow.
Yep, right here, Pioneer, Waterland, and Dry Park. They are definitely not ready to open up yet.
The little local water park is kind of cool. I mean, we get people from all over the Northeast Ohio, from down in Akron and over in Cleveland. Even people from Pennsylvania will come to it. It's not anything major, but it's kind of cool. They got like a lazy river thing and water slides and a couple of different pools. They also have batting cages and I think putt-putt. And you can picnic there. Stuff as well, but yeah, it's definitely not the time for that right now.
I have my left blinker on.
Yep, I saw it, and it went off.
Yeah, I just turned it on again. Okay, so again, I'm a newer rider, so I see a school bus coming, so, well, there was a vehicle in front of it, but, so I'm a little hesitant to just jump right on out there.
Well, and the speed limit of the road is 50, even though that vehicle didn't look like it.
She's turning.
Okay, go. She's telling you to go.
Yep, I waved to her.
But the road that we just turned on, speed limit's 55, too.
Well, MOTOMattman, I am going to go ahead and sign off today for right now. So I appreciate YouTubers riding along with me today, and you too, Mrs. MOTOMattman. And I hope you have enjoyed this short video. You will go ahead and like and hit the bell to subscribe and receive notifications when I post more videos, which as the weather keeps getting better and better, I will be able to have even more videos out there. So, oops, there goes the raccoon. So I appreciate you riding along with me today. I hope everybody has a fantastic day and leave a little sparkle everywhere you go.
And as always, also, remember, keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down.